it's Melissa, and today I wanted to share with you my TBR for Fortnight Frights. So this is a new readathon put on by Seji from The Artisan Geek. I will link her announcement video below. But this is a readathon all about spooky, macabre reads, which is right up my alley. It's running the last 2 weeks of October from October 18th to 31st. So I am so excited for this readathon. I think the prompts for this were really well done. They're really interesting and also very inclusive. And I just think she's put a lot of work into it and has done a phenomenal job putting this readathon together. And Seji has made a bingo sheet. And I love me a bingo sheet. If you ever want me to participate in a readathon you're putting together, just make a bingo sheet and I am there. I'm all over it. I will also put the link to the Artisan Geek website, or the exact page where you can find information on the Fortnight Frights readathon. So I'm going to be going for the bottom row of this bingo sheet. So for the first square, that is a piece of dark fantasy. And I'm going to be reading Monstress by Marjorie M. Liu, and illustrated by Sana Takeda. So this is a graphic novel set in like an alternate Asia in the 1900s. And the main character in this graphic novel shares some sort of like psychic connection with a monster, like a literal monster. So this just sounded great, and I have been wanting to read graphic novels like more consistently because I read a bunch of them a couple months ago for this project that I'm doing where I'm reading things I've never read before, and so I read a ton of graphic novels, but then I kind of stopped, so I want to kind of like reincorporate or incorporate, I guess, graphic novels into my regular reading. So really excited for that. The next square is a book written by an Indigenous author. And I already had one on my TBR waiting, so this is kind of perfect. And it's The Only Good Indians by, I keep forgetting his name, Stephen Graham Jones. So this is a horror novel about a group of Indigenous men. And I don't know a whole lot about it. I've heard good things from other people, and so I'm trying to kind of keep myself spoiler free, but also just completely fresh when I go into reading this. The only thing I really know is in the book they are being tracked down by some sort of entity. I don't know if that's supernatural in nature. To me, it kind of has vibes of maybe I Know What You Did Last Summer, but with a more like supernatural or magical element. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. So this is on Scribd, so I will be listening to an audiobook of it. I have never listened to horror on audio, so I don't know if I will be a fan of that genre on audiobook. I feel like it's going to have a really good narrator to really make it horrific. I feel like if it's not read properly, that a lot of the horror could fall flat. So we'll see how that goes. The next square is a book with a green cover. And there is something I really, really want to read for this, but I cannot get my hands on a copy of it. So I do have a backup. But what I want to read for this prompt is Monster, She Wrote by Lisa Kröger and Melanie R. Anderson. And the subtitle to this is The Women Who Pioneered Horror and Speculative Fiction. I like horror, I like speculative fiction, and I love nonfiction books about women, women's issues, and feminism, and like, I just feel like this is a book for Melissa. So this is a nonfiction, basically detailing the role that women have played in, like it says, in pioneering or in cultivating these genres of fiction. The book also includes recommendation lists, and I know the little blurb said that a lot of the recommendations are for maybe lesser known books or lesser known authors. So I really want to get my hands on this because I want to find out about other women authors who have added to these genres of fiction. Now, my backup for this, because I cannot get my hands on this book and I don't want to buy it because I don't buy a whole lot of books, especially new. So I'm gonna see, maybe my library will get it in. I don't know. Anyway, my backup for this is Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno-Garcia. Everyone's been talking about this book, so I won't go into it too much, but it's set in the 1950s. There's a woman who I think marries someone and moves down to Mexico, and she calls her cousin, or no, sends a letter maybe? Contacts her cousin in a panic, basically saying, you have to help me. So her cousin goes down to Mexico to figure this out. So it's kind of like Gothic. It's right there in the title. This is Gothic story. I don't know much else about it, but I'm all for a Gothic read at this time of year. It was on my radar, and if I can't get a copy of Monstress, she wrote, then I will be picking up Mexican Gothic because my library does have a copy of that. So the last square is a book written by a Black or African author. And for this, I have chosen White is for Witching by Helen Oyeyemi. I hope I said that correctly. So this basically has like haunted house vibes. It's set on the cliffs near Dover, so it already sounds very eerie and creepy and wonderful. And the character, I think, can either like communicate with this house or can communicate maybe with like spirits in the house. I'm not sure if the actual house is personified in that way, if it is an entity or if there are ghosts in the house or what, but I think a character can communicate with something and then that character goes missing, so there's a mystery element. Anyway, it sounds really, really interesting, so I'm really hoping to get to that. Well, obviously I'm hoping to get to all of these because they're on my TBR. So that was my TBR for the Fortnight Frights readathon. If you are participating, please let me know. If you have a video with your TBR, let me know. I'd love to go check it out. If you are not participating, I would also just like to hear what spooky things that you're reading, so that I can add them to my TBR for next October maybe. Anyways, thanks everyone for watching as always, and I hope everyone's doing really well. Take care. Bye.